So, are carbs bad for you? Obviously, there's a lot of experts, professionals telling you that carbohydrates are bad for you. Some are saying that they're good for you. So, in this video today, I just want to go over the basic science and give you my opinion, then let you decide for yourself whether or not you think carbohydrates are bad for you and if you should incorporate them into your diet. So, in order to know, we first have to understand what carbohydrates exactly are. Now, a carbohydrate is a molecule found in many foods that consists of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, hence the name carbohydrate. Carbs are also called saccharides, and there are 4 different types of saccharides or carbohydrates. These saccharides include monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. Now, the mono and disaccharides, the first two, are typically referred to and thought of as sugars, the names that we've heard and know of, right? Glucose, fructose, lactose, the sugars found in fruits, dairy, and the table sugars. The other 2 types of carbohydrates, the oligosaccharides and the polysaccharides, are typically referred to as starches or complex carbohydrates. And these carbohydrates can be broken down and then converted into those simple sugars for our body to use, but some of them can't be broken down and digested by our body. And these carbohydrates are fiber. So yes, fiber is a type of carbohydrate. And many of us know fiber has many health benefits for our body, such as helping with our bowel movements, regulating our immune system, feeding our gut microbiota, and many other known and unknown functions as well. Now, the carbohydrates that can be broken down and digested and used by our body are best known to provide us with energy. Carbohydrates are special in that they allow us to break them down and use them almost immediately as energy. It's what makes them such an excellent fuel source and a fuel source that our body really desires and goes after. Because it's such an immediate energy source, our body actually stores extra carbohydrates in the form of glycogen in other areas of our body to use them when we need them, such as in our liver and our muscles. So think if we have to run or exercise or do something quickly, our body can just go right to the source and break it down almost immediately, making carbohydrates an excellent fuel for athletes. Now, in contrast to fat, another nutrient that our body uses as energy, fat can't be broken down as quickly. However, fat is used as our main energy storage bank because it can store more energy per gram, right? So that makes sense. We can store more energy per gram of fat than we can carbohydrate or glycogen. The trade-off is that it takes longer for our body to break down that fat. So that's why for immediate energy, for that energy we need right away, it goes to the glycogen. Also, if we don't have enough glycogen or carbohydrate in our body will actually break down muscle and turn that into glucose so that we can use that energy right away. Now, typically when people talk about carbohydrates, they tend to divide them into simple versus complex. And this isn't really talking about the molecule itself as much as it is about the foods that they're found in. So simple carbohydrates are typically foods that provide you only with one nutrient, that is being carbohydrate or sugar. Foods like white pastas, white breads, snacks, cookies, soda, all the typical foods that we deem not so healthy. Now, on the other hand, complex carbohydrates are typically foods that contain carbohydrate in addition to other important nutrients that our body needs to survive and maintain its health. These foods include vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and they also provide you with nutrients such as fats, proteins, micronutrients like vitamins and minerals, so giving you a well-rounded array of nutrients. So, now that we sort of understand carbohydrate 101, are carbohydrates really bad for you? I think that carbohydrates got a bad rap when people started referring to them as the simple versus complex. Most people think about carbs in that simple way, right? We think about carbs like the pastas and the breads, the candy, the cookies. the foods that we typically, at least here in America, consume too much of, the processed foods. And they don't really provide you with any other important nutrients that we need to survive, such as fats, proteins, micronutrients, etc. It's really just sugar. And so from that end, if we're consuming a diet that is mostly just sugar, just carbohydrate, and really nothing else, yes, it isn't the healthiest way of eating. However, carbohydrate, the molecule, the nutrient, is not unhealthy for you. Like I mentioned, it's an important energy source. It also provides other roles for our body, especially in the form of fiber. And they're found in very healthful foods, such as vegetables, fruits, nuts, the foods I listed earlier. So, in my personal opinion, I am a fan of carbohydrate. I think it provides our body with important functions. I think it's part of our culture, our diet, and it can be beneficial to you. I know there are other people who are against them, and that's okay. And they may have their beliefs and science that backs it. But in my opinion, I think it makes a healthy overall part of your diet. So let me know what you think about carbohydrates in the comments below.